Ted Cruz was trying to spearhead an investigation into Dylan Mulvaney's TikTok and whether or not it was ethical for Anheuser Busch to advertise with somebody who has an audience that skews ever so young. And now he's opining on the Target boycott. And it's interesting. It's interesting. I don't know his take on this. I can just read the headline. We're obviously going to figure it out because we're the good journalists that are over here or whatever. I don't know. This is the independent media. I don't know what to... I'm Don. That's what... Don's going to read through this, and we're going to figure it out together. How about that? Ted Cruz explains why the Target boycott won't work like the Bud Light one. He won't probably go as far as to say that, yeah, women just kind of have a fleeting opinion because they're... All of the all the advertisement is still pushed towards them, but the people that are boycotting this and the way that the media is covering it as, oh, women are turning their backs on Target right now en masse and all of this is being led by mothers, it's because in actuality they're all just kind of lazy and that they'll just have their attentions caught by the next, big boycott that's going to be out there. So they'll just totally forget. It's like, why were we mad at Target again? And it's like, oh my God, I don't quite remember, but they're like close to the store and we like need mayonnaise or some shit. And it's like, oh my God. And it's like, my husband, he's just like so incompetent and stuff like that. Yuck. Senator Ted Cruz said on Friday's episode of his podcast that he doesn't think the boycott against Target will be as effective as the one against Bud Light. I would tend to agree for a multitude of reasons. On The Verdict with Ted Cruz podcast, the senator explained why it could be more difficult to launch a successful boycott against a department store chain, which has faced backlash over its June Pride Month collection. Target, yeah, all that stuff. Target Insider, emergency meeting, tuck-friendly, gender fluid. Okay, just go ahead and let's just get to the, where's the Cruz part? Okay, Cruz said the controversies demonstrate how big companies don't understand. I don't really do a Ted Cruz impersonation, mostly because I don't really like to listen to him talk because it's just it's a whole lot of this, not a whole lot of that. It doesn't really do a lot of action. Big companies don't understand their customers and don't respect their customers. I explained why conservatives target a boycott is likely unsuccessful as the one against Bud Light. Conservatives have typically not been very good at boycotts. I agree. That's why the Bud Light one is... It makes a lot of sense, but it's such a black swan event that it's going to be incredibly hard to replicate. There are so many other alternatives that's out there. It was such a betrayal of its consumer base. It's a singular product. Well, that's what makes that one unique, as opposed to Target, which if it's your closest local grocer and you like the products that they have there, yeah, they got some annoying shit that's at the front, but you could say the exact same thing about YouTube with just, if you think it's funny that I got to self-censor every once in a while about some things that I'd like to talk about because there's a lot more things that I'd like to talk about in contrast to politics and stuff like that, mostly from about 3 years ago. But that has to be put on another platform, somewhere that, very much supports free speech, where we will be multi-streaming to later this evening, probably about an hour or so after you see this video go up. But so the point I was trying to make in that one is, okay, if you think that it's bad on one side of these things, it's still got to use the platform, even though, you can type in naked yoga and you can see directly from somebody's crotch all the way to the top of their head through the most convoluted ways. It's right there. It's right on the thumbnail. Nobody does anything about it. Shit's weird, okay? It's not equally applied. Would I boycott YouTube over it? Well, maybe just for the fact that the models that they use for the naked yoga are absolutely atrocious. No, okay? You got to pick your battles. You cited Disney as an example, noting the company has come under fire by conservatives for, how long has it been? Like a decade and a half at this point in time. Oh no, they're eventually going to lose to Ron DeSantis. Okay, sure. I know that there are some smart people on the case, and to be completely honest, man, I've been hearing about Disney's demise since about 2015, and I've just really not cared all that much. They continue to put out shit products, but I think I'm seeing, Little Mermaid's going to be making a whole hell of a lot of money, which is... That's the reason, man. Most people don't give a fuck about this stuff that much. That's why, again, the Bud Light situation is so fucking different. Target's a store. Target's been around forever. Sure, Sears and Warbuck have come and gone, but... Target, one of the few things that you can't really outsource, at least it's not that popular to the widest swath of people, it's groceries. Okay, you can't really, it's It goes beyond that, okay? It's a staple that's left as opposed to a singular item. Schlitz was once the biggest beer brand in the country, but overnight, they're gone. Bud Light, it took a little bit longer than overnight, but we've been cataloging it, and that's why, yeah, no, it totally makes sense that Ted Cruz would say that it's different. You can't, oh, you can be annoyed at Disney, but if your kids really want to go to Disney World, then it's going to be hard to say no. We can go to Universal. That's different. I want to see Mickey Mouse. And it's like, yeah, okay, just shut up. But if you're good parents, they wouldn't talk back to you like that. They're Six Flags, but Disney World is a pretty unique offering. And yeah, the parks still make a whole shitload of money, regardless, okay? And that's their biggest money maker. That's why they can continue to put out shit products in the theaters. It doesn't really much matter. At some point in time, yeah, they're eventually going to have to turn it around, but if things like a Little Mermaid turn a big profit like that, I don't know the next hilarious Marvel product that'll come along, but hey man, they can continue to just farm profits off of bad products and continue to turn a massive profit from the theme parks. They're going to be able to do whatever the fuck they want, okay? So Cruz also discussed the failed boycotts against, yeah, the NFL and the NBA. Not that they aren't legitimate, not that they don't have good points on that one. It's just, yeah, people like to watch football. People like to watch basketball. I haven't watched a sports ball, puck, whatever thing for about better than a decade at this point in time, but I can extrapolate my personal experiences out to the greater world. I know people are lethargic and people are fucking lazy and they just want to engage in some escapism. I understand, I get the appeal, but I'm different than that. But people at the end of the day, okay, you got this annoying thing. Oh, great, they're going to sing the Black National Anthem at the beginning of a game. Oh, God, I'll just go and, stomp my feet and say, oh, I just wish the sports weren't woke, but, ooh, kickoff, ooh, and then just sit around and watch all the advertisements in between. Watching a football game is just about fucking impossible in today's day and age. Even, that was one of the first ones that I had to give up watching live because it was after the end of every series of play. All right, we're going to cut to commercial. So you watch about 10 seconds of fucking play on the field, and then it's inundated with about 2.5, 3 minutes of commercials. Fantastic stuff that you have right there. That's why I can't do anything live when it comes to sports. It's just totally a fucking abomination, but a lot of people just go ahead and do that because that's their routine. Breaking somebody out of their routine because, oh, you support somebody, something that does Black Lives Matter. Well, take a look at everybody else who does that. That's why, yeah, pick your fucking battles, okay? That's what he's trying to say here. And I see that it's not all that popular, the upvotes, downvotes when it comes to that stuff. But it's the fucking truth, guys. At the end of the day, you can be mad. You can shake your fist. You can do your part by not shopping at Target. But just wait. Just wait a few days before all of the rainbows start rolling out everywhere. And you're going to realize that, oh, fuck, I can't even drink water because the city department of water and wastewater all of a sudden is going to be supporting a gay agenda. Yeah, okay, so pick your battles. That's why this Bud Light situation is so fucking funny. And yeah, now they're just trying to shame you into coming back. Okay, once again, we seen that with what was it, Brendan Whitworth, the CEO on the American side, trying to say that if you guys don't buy our stuff, you're putting all of our distributors at risk, and we employ like 67,000 people, and if you don't help us out, we're gonna have to fire them. And it's like, oh, okay, cool, we're supposed to subsidize your terrible mistakes. You aren't supposed to learn anything. You're expecting everybody else to bail you out from your shit decision. Okay, how about no? But now the real losers of the Bud Light fiasco, well, it's Bud, it's Anheuser Busch, it's InBev in general. The truck drivers claim they've been flipped the bird and verbally abused as 500 independent distributors are left really hurting by boycott after disastrous Dylan Mulvaney campaign. Yeah, I couldn't imagine in today's day and age running through with that tractor trailer at the back. It's like, yeah, I know I work for these guys, and yeah, I know we don't have as many deliveries lately, but taking the shit out of those guys, and if they're actually getting abused, if they're actually getting assaulted, that sucks. That's fucking stupid. They're not the ones making the decision. They're just the guys fucking delivering the beer at the end of the day. But if it's, just what I'm thinking, it's probably some side remarks. It's like, hey, making deliveries of that tranny fluid. And it's like, yeah, you just fucking roll your eyes. It's like when I worked at, Why am I? Because it sounds familiar. Best Buy. I worked at Best Buy. Back then, their ad campaign, this was 2008, 2009, during that area. Or during that time. Okay, so their Christmas, their holiday market, their Christmas campaign at the time was families would come in and talk to one of the sales associates that was down there, and they would ask for. I think it was, yes, asking for a gift that would make their kids go, oh my God, and like flip out like that. And I had one guy come in and he did that specific thing and he didn't anticipate that I would reciprocate that same energy. Totally fucking threw everybody off, and it made it awkward as fuck. And I ended up selling them a whole bunch of video game stuff because I'm really fucking good at my jobs. What can I say? Come on now. But no, if that's what's happening right here, if it's just playful back and forth and it's like, yes, we're being harassed, you kind of got to grin and bear it. You're not responsible. You just work for the company, man. I don't make the fucking decisions. So truckers who distribute Bud Light across America have faced abuse, including homophobic slurs. Oh my God, big tough guys that work in warehouses all day. They're called gay in the rainbow F slur. However will they survive? They got way better comebacks than that. So come on now. Like the comebacks, like what's in your mother's throat, have faced abuse, including homophobic slurs following the backlash of the Beers-Dillon Mulvaney partnership. Details of the incidents were reported as a former executive at Anheuser Busch. I already know that this story's cap because it's coming from a former executive. Said independent distributors are the biggest losers amid the ongoing fervor. Yeah, of course. They can't sell the stuff that they're supposed to be selling because nobody wants to associate their name to this absolutely tarnished brand. You fucked up at the top, and it's your guys' responsibility to compensate them, or you lose them as customers, clients, and then also employees. Like, that's the fucking way that it goes. And you take a look at how everybody else is popping off, like Molson Coors, Yingling, the other independent distributors. Hey man, if they still have all the infrastructure, they still have the trucks, they know the routes and all that stuff, they will be welcomed with open arms because the influx of demand that they're receiving thanks to your guys' shitty behavior. Guys like this, they jump from company to company all the fucking time. As somebody who lives in the neck of the woods where you have all of these oil field companies, everybody at some point in time has worked for CNRL, Encana, okay? TransCanada, no relation to this story, but everybody has worked for all of these companies at some point in time because business ebbs and flows. That's the fucking way that this shit is. So that's why I don't buy any of this stuff, especially when it comes from executives. It comes from the C-suites. They're too busy trying to put out all the fires, not realizing that those are the guys at the bottom who are really feeling the push. That's why the same thing, you can extrapolate all of these situations out to the government. Government makes bad policies. Who suffers the most? The taxpayers. Who cares the least? The people who are making the policies. Several have reported that a decline in sales of Bud Light have hurt business. We know. Many are family-run businesses which are independent from Anheuser Busch and were blindsided by the Mulvaney tie-up and subsequent backlash. Some said that the drivers had middle fingers aimed at them. It's probably just these stupid broads that just drive by and they're, fucking pseudo-hybrids going, you just sell stuff that erases women. Meanwhile, the guys will probably have the funniest, have been called gay beer salesmen. That sounds like an offhanded remark that you'd end up hearing. It's like, okay, yeah, it's just funny. You have to know the context. It's like, that's the way the guys talk. That's why, they're getting so outraged. Anheuser Busch is now desperately trying to win back customers who have boycotted its products, which include Budweiser and Michelob. Yes, by offering practically free beer at this point in time. 15, 20, 30, just please take it, because we don't want to have to wrap it up, put it back on pallets, and take it back. Please just buy it for like $2. You get what do you got in your pocket? Just run through your pockets. You could have a case of beer. Don't worry about it. Anson Fredericks, who departed the executive role at Anheuser Busch last year, said the biggest loser here are the 500 independent businesses in the United States that distribute Anheuser Busch products. These are the people really hurting. Couldn't agree more. The president at one distributor said wholesalers and their staff are in a really bad spot and lamented frustrating situation. That's why they've got the Harley Davidson campaign. As you can be a real man, crack open one of the king of beers, grab your ankles, and you can double as the king of rears. Some of the distributors are considering topping up paychecks of workers who rely on commissions after revenue and sales took a hit following the ongoing boycott. Should be more than just considering, because this is a self-inflicted gunshot wound if I've ever seen one. Pestinger, a distributing company in Kansas, told ABC that Bud Light sales have fallen around 30% in recent weeks. seems to track because volume sales have been down, yeah, anywhere between 20 and 25%. So yeah, that totally makes sense. If this is one isolated area, I don't think that he'd be telling lies. No tales out of class here. Owner Matt Petzinger said, we've stressed some because you never want to see red numbers. Yeah, of course. And especially leading up to the summer camping season. Like, the fuck is going on? He said that he still got faith in the leadership at Anheuser Busch. Oh, I'm sorry to hear about that. And respects the way that they've been handling it by not addressing it, by just hoping everybody has short-term memory loss. Like, everybody also goes around wearing the funny hats with propellers on top. Okay. Another company chief said workers are feeling it. Yeah, we know. A third added, in the end, the people hurt most are local small businesses, retailers, and wholesalers in the community. See, those evil conservatives boycotting or putting people out of work. Hey, I thought you guys cared about the working man. Why don't you buy this big company's product? Why don't you simp harder for company? Yeah, okay, sure. Once again, keep up that same energy because this shit is funny as fuck. And, you know, there's going to be something equally retarded come out for this tomorrow. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. And yeah, also in a little while's time, you'll be seeing me. We'll be going live discussing all of the going-ons with Ron DeSantis in a stream here. Won't be terribly long. We've got a little bit of subject matter to cover, but it's going to be fun. So take care, everyone.